Ooh. All right, so today I want to talk to you about why I wrote my book and why I picked the title as well.
Black boy joy, she wanna see the Forbes like I wanna see her form. Tell me what you for, yeah. Ayy, you pay me what I'm owed, yeah.
All right, so for the first, reason why I wrote my book is mainly because I wanted to share a story that I hadn't seen a lot of growing up. And oftentimes that is the case for a lot of authors, specifically those from the global majority, and they haven't really seen books that look like them. So they write that book. And that's kind of the case for me as well. Growing up, I saw a lot of American books. Some of those books did have characters that were like me, but they were always about American kids. And though my book doesn't say specifically that I'm from Canada, I'm from Canada. So little black boys in Canada will be able to connect to the author as well. Sometimes I think as educators, we forget to connect the authors to the stories, so the illustrators to the stories, and they're important. I'm a strong believer that if you are writing a book, that you should have a very strong connection to the characters that you're writing about. I know that oftentimes you talk about specific characters and they may not look like you, but I do think that it's important that authors and illustrators keep in mind of who they're writing about, those experiences, etc. I wrote I'm From mainly because I wanted people to understand. Let me just hold up for a second. I was listening to this lady speak the other day, and she talked a lot about ideas, and it made me think about my book and how the idea of talking about where you come from has been around for a very long time. I think there are so many authors that have written stories similar to mine about places they've come from. And I just want to thank them for giving me the opportunity to do that, because I know that if it wasn't for them, then this story wouldn't be able to be what it is today. So before any of that, specifically those from the global majority, because the idea of being from something comes from a microaggression of people asking other individuals where they're from, right? And oftentimes being Black Canadian, specifically in an international world, you hear it all, right? Being in Canada, you hear it all the time. Being in America, you hear it all the time. Being a global majority, you get the questions of where you're from a lot. And I think that is so universal in the sense that there's so many people that have had that experience that they will be able to connect with it. With that, there are other experiences where you can also be from other things. And I hope that also resonates with a lot of people as well. My idea around this book was really giving people from home, Preston, Nova Scotia, a book to read that they could connect with, helping that little black boy see an experience that will hopefully allow them to connect to the book. With that, I want to keep in mind that the black experience, specifically the Canadian black experience, is not monolith. It's not singular. It's not a one-off. So my experience is going to be very different than someone else's experience, specifically in Nova Scotia or in Ontario or in Manitoba or in any other country or in any other province, etc., etc. So though this story is about a little black boy in Canada, it's not about every black boy in Canada. It's about me in Canada, and I hope that it is able to resonate with everyone, even if you're not from Canada or a little black boy. And I wanted to really just share the ups and downs of growing up for most kids that look like me, unfortunately. And I don't actually even want to say unfortunately, because I do think tough times build character, right? And I think everyone should have to go through tough times to grow. So I specifically wanted to make sure that this book wasn't all fun and roses and lollipops. So there's moments where this kid is struggling, right? There's moments where this kid needs support, and I'm really curious how people are going to react to it. I've already come to the conclusion that it's going to be we'll save that for another episode. But I'm curious of what people will think. And yeah, so that's the gist of what my book is about. I'm super excited about it. I'm really excited to get into some Canadian classrooms. I would love to just do like Canadian, I don't know, do they send authors on tours? I think they do. I would love to do like a Canadian tour and just like go to Canadian classrooms and see some of those black kids and just like share with them how they can do the exact same thing that I did by just sharing their story. Yeah. I'm gonna tell my editor about that. I wanna do a Canadian tour and we'll see what happens. All right, hopefully you got a gist of what my book is about, and it's coming out in about a year and some, so you still got some time. But that's it for now. Peace, stay blessed.